Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Nathan and today we're going to be discussing the Boston Bruins announcer Jack Edwards and the crazy things he said in the Bruins and Stars game. Now Jack Edwards, the main play-by-play for the Boston Bruins, made some very controversial statements in the Boston Bruins win over the Dallas Stars. So what did Jack Edwards actually say that was so controversial, and what do I think about this whole situation? Watch till the end to find out. Now, in a 2-1 Boston Bruins victory over the Dallas Stars, one of the more violent Dallas Stars games I've seen in recent memory, there was a lot of controversial plays, but the injury is what was most notable in this one. For the Dallas Stars, we saw 3 different injuries, Blake Como and also Jason Dickinson, 2 guys who might be out for a couple of weeks now because of those 2 injuries in last game, but the most major one and the most scary one was the Polak injury. He went in trying to hit Chris Wagner along the boards, and ended up taking a weird angle with his skate and just kind of slid into the boards, both of his head and his shoulder. He went back on his back and then just kind of held his head for a bit. The stretcher came out, the doctors came out, and he had to be stretchered off the ice, which wasn't a good look. And I saw that live also. It was a scary look, and one that definitely for Polak, I'm hoping the best for. While there was some scary situations in that game, the Polak injury was 110% the most scary, because looking at that whole play, it didn't exactly look like he was going to go that injured from it. He wasn't exactly putting his head into the boards. It was both his shoulder, his belly, and also his head at the same time. It was a weird play, and Polak, of course, took it extremely throughout his whole body. But the good news is that Polak will probably be okay. Jim Montgomery, the Dallas Stars coach, had this to say about it. The good news is Roman has full use of his extremities, and we feel he's pretty good at the hospital. But we don't have results yet. We're hopeful he may be a player in a couple of days. Now, while the whole Dallas Stars organization, as well as some of the Boston Bruins players, sending their well wishes to Polak on a healthy return, the Boston Bruins panel and their broadcasting group didn't exactly see it the same way. Jack Edwards and the color commentator didn't exactly give their well wishes to Polak on their injury. Now, firstly, we had Andy Brickley, the color analyst for NESN for the Boston Bruins. When that whole hit happened, when that whole play happened, the color analyst said this, Andy Brickley: "That looked self-induced, didn't it?" And that is a scary thought, because yes, it was self-induced. I don't think it was Chris Wagner's fault on that play. Why would you say that? Why would you immediately after he's down, emotionless on the ice, say something like that? It just doesn't really make sense to me, but that wasn't even the worst part. Now, Jack Edwards, the main play-by-play for the Boston Bruins, responded with this right after Polak was emotionless on the ice. He said this: "Has a little bit of bad hockey karma." What? And you might say, oh, it's fake, because nobody would really say that to a guy that was motionless on the ice, didn't have any movement in his play, and was also injured and had his head contacted by the boards directly. It's real. It is real. You can see the clip, you can watch it. It is 100% real, and yes, he did say that. Now, I want to get it out of the way and say that he didn't do this, and he didn't really know that Polak was going to get stretchered off the ice. No, stretchered off the ice. Nobody really knew that at the time, but even without that whole situation, even when Polak was on his back, still holding his head, you don't say that, and you don't say that to any player. Even if a guy like Brad Marchand were to do that, let's say Brad Marchand was in the same situation, Jack Edwards would likely be screaming because it was a terrible play and saying, "Please get well soon, Marchand." And the double standard you can see in this play is absolutely egregious, and you can see on Polak, it didn't exactly turn out too well for him. And this is where bias in hockey commentary starts to get a little bit of a weird area, because while I think in hockey commentary, especially for regional places like the NESN, who cover the Boston Bruins, cover New England sports, I think having biased commentators is fine, and it makes sense for them, especially financially. But when you get into that special kind of realm of just being blinded by fan base, you have a guy like Jack Edwards, who in these type of plays will always go for the Boston Bruins and say, "Oh, he had bad hockey karma." It's Polak, dude. He is an NHL player. He is a human being, a great human being, I must say. And you just said he had bad hockey karma when he's getting sent to the freaking hospital, man. And as there should have been, there was a huge outcry of people supporting Roman Polak and denouncing Jack Edwards as there should have been, because that was just a bad luck on his end. And I'm not afraid to say that when Jack Hughes isn't stupid and isn't making stupid remarks by this, that I actually do support him in the way he does commentate. Besides being egregious on stuff like this, saying bad hockey comment or stuff, when he's actually commentating the game, I do like to listen to him. But that 1% of the time, when he's really that stupid, plays like this, it's just hard to listen to. And I'm not sure how anybody listens to him at that point. And I have defended him in the past, I've supported him in the past when there's been some controversial remarks, but this is just kind of crossing the line that I don't like to see crossed. When you're biased, yes, you can go against penalties, and that's fine. But when you're biased enough to a point to say that the other player on a different team had that coming, to say that the karma was there and that they had bad hockey karma and it was kind of deserved for that hit to happen, it just doesn't look good whatsoever. It doesn't look good for Boston sports. It doesn't look good for the Bruins fan base. It doesn't look good for him or NESN. It doesn't help anybody, and it just looks terrible in this situation. And again, as I said before, I think it's just disappointing to see him go this route, because I think he has a solid talent of commentating hockey games. Again, he's an entertaining guy because he's that bombastic, but he just crosses the line 1% of the time, and that 1% of the time gets him in the back, as it should. When you say stuff like that, bad hockey karma, you're gonna get called out for it, and rightfully so, because that whole play was terrible. It's super unfortunate, and it's sad that he couldn't see it at the time. I think he doesn't really feel that whole remark. I think he didn't really mean it in that way, but it's how it was perceived. When you say a player has bad hockey karma after they're unconscious on the ice, you really can't go back on that. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that again, Jack Edwards didn't mean to wish ill will on Roman Polak, because I think there's a better side of him than saying stuff like that. But at the same time, when you say stuff like that, you're going to get perceived as a terrible person. I don't think Jack Edwards is a terrible person. I just think he's pretty blindly biased towards the Boston Bruins. And I think there's a difference there. Some people can be stupid, or they can just be horribly, terribly biased. And I think that's the side that Jack Edwards is on. Unfortunately, that gets him in trouble, as it did last night versus the Dallas Stars, but that's just bound to happen. And that's kind of the time-ticking bomb when it comes to guys like that. When you're so deeply biased for a team, as maybe I am for the Dallas Stars, at least I'm not commentating their games or something. But Jack Edwards is out there saying stuff like that, which is going to happen, and it's continuing to happen as the years go by. I'm not going to come out here and say that it's canceled, that Jack Edwards is canceled, and that I won't watch him anymore, because again, he still is an entertaining commentator. But saying stuff like this isn't helping anyone whatsoever. I'm hoping that he learns from this, because I think this is a huge learning opportunity for him and other biased commentators in the NHL. Sometimes bias can get the best of you, and I think Jack Edwards hasn't done the greatest job of controlling himself in those situations, which obviously last night he wasn't able to do. But of course, this is the most important part, what you guys think. So let me know down in those comments down below what you think about the Boston Bruins commentators, and especially what Jack Edwards said. Do you think it's fine? Do you think he should be denounced? What do you think? Let me know all your thoughts down in those comments down below. But if you guys want some more Grav videos just like this one, you should click on this playlist right here to watch all of my NHL drama videos coming everything big in the NHL. Trust me, it's a great playlist. You'll want to click on it. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on this crazy situation and what your thoughts on it. Share this video with your friends. Also, if you haven't, trying to grow the Grav gang to 10K subscribers, boys. I know we can get it done. Let's do this thing. I'm Nathan, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.